Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính will lead a Vietnamese delegation to attend the ASEAN-EU 45th Anniversary Commemorative Summit in Brussels, Belgium on Wednesday. This conference celebrates the 45th founding anniversary of dialogue partnership between the European Union and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations.
The ASEAN-EU 45th Anniversary Commemorative Summit will be a historic summit, where 27 European heads of state and government plus the EU's 2 institutional presidents will meet with all ASEAN leaders for the first time ever.
We think it sends a message to the rest of the world that we're committed to work together, and in these difficult geopolitical times, all of these uncertainties, that we together chose for more cooperation, more partnership, instead of entering into further competition.
ASEAN and EU established a strategic partnership in 2020, which has grown into a very comprehensive partnership. The EU is ASEAN's third largest trading partner. Meanwhile, ASEAN, as a whole, is the EU's third largest trading partner outside Europe. In 2021, the EU ranked second in terms of FDI into ASEAN.
Free trade agreement, which entered into force. We have a political and cooperation agreement, and we even have a framework participation agreement, which allows Vietnamese military to take part in European peacekeeping or other military or civilian missions. So already the institutional setup is very strong. So definitely for us, Vietnam is a major partner bilaterally, but also when we work with ASEAN.
Ambassador Drijsmans also stated that major investments from the EU into ASEAN will be announced, designed to promote sustainable development of the region in clean energy, digital transition, and sustainable infrastructure. The diplomat encouraged increased cooperation on security-related issues, adding that they could be powerful advocates of a rules-based international order to ensure peace and stability and cooperate to advance these core values.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Deloitte Vietnam released a publication about the business environment of Vietnam in the period of 2022 to 2023 on Monday afternoon in Hanoi. The publication is aimed at promoting economic diplomacy. Accordingly, Vietnam's GDP growth in 2022 will return to 7.5% and is forecast to reach 6.7% in 2023. Digital economy is expected to be the new driving force for the country's economy in the next decade. This is a useful document for foreign businesses to understand the big picture of the Vietnamese economy. It also promotes Vietnam's investment environment with international community. Experts believe that economic diplomacy is one of the main focuses of the diplomacy and an important driving force for sustainable development. A conference to commemorate the International Human Rights Day was held in Hanoi on Monday. At the event, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced the launch of Vietnam's Universal Periodic Review (UPR) process for the 4th cycle. Marking the 74th anniversary of the adoption of the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the conference was attended by experts and representatives from foreign embassies and consulates in Vietnam.
Representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and related agencies reaffirmed the commitment and effort of Vietnamese authorities in the promotion and protection of human rights. Vietnam has been preparing for the 4th cycle of the Universal Periodic Review or UPR process report in various areas, such as labor issues, minority rights, the freedom of belief and religion, and the protection of vulnerable groups. At the conference, the UNDP resident representative in Vietnam shared her recommendations to help Vietnam map out a report on the UPR process.
Would be the importance of ensuring the voice of all of society in the process. So really ensuring that the engagement of a civil society stakeholders report. A second recommendation would be to focus on the interministerial coordination. A third relates to tracking and monitoring progress.
We greatly appreciated the recommendations of UNDP and other participants at the conference. Vietnam's ministries, departments and agencies will work closely with domestic and foreign counterparts, including international organizations. We'll learn from their recommendations to improve our report of Vietnam's UPR process for the fourth cycle.
The Universal Periodic Review is an intergovernmental process which involves a review of the human rights records of all United Nations member states once every 4 years. A member of the United Nations Human Rights Council for the term 2023 to 2025, Vietnam has made efforts to fulfill its commitments in promoting and protecting human rights in accordance with international principles.